You're listening to the Pace Radio Network here at paceradio.net.
The views expressed by the individuals during this broadcast are their own opinions, and they may not be the same as those of their group or other organizations they may be involved with.
All medical advice during our broadcast is not a medical opinion and should be checked with your medical physician.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Pace Radio Show. We are live here at paceradio.net, 420pace.ca, and our social media locations. Good evening, Tamara. How you doing?
Oh, I'm not too bad, I guess. How about you? Just kind of trying to situate
I think something tells me from the posts I've seen of you on Facebook, I'm doing much better than you. Yeah. But, you know, we're all patients, right?
It's
and
just
also,
like losing my dog has been the worst thing fucking ever.
Yeah, that's right. That's true.
I mean, I've been fine. Like, other than that, like my health's.
Okay, I saw some posts about you being in some pain. So.
I'm always in pain.
I know, but this is one of those 12 out of 8.
That's probably an old post. I went and seen the rheumatoid specialist last Tuesday, and then I had a doctor's appointment with my own doctor, and they say that I'm, these flares are normal, weather, blah, blah, blah. So as far as they're concerned, everything is going along smashingly.
Oh.
So the pain and stuff that I experience is normal. They're going to do an MRI on my neck because the burning sensations is neurological, like it's nerve pain coming usually from your neck. So yeah, other than that, the dog is a big thing, but my health is just kind of plugging along. Got the kid his vaccines because he had his measles and rubella because he was out of school when he was in grade 9, right?
Oh.
So we had to get that done, and like I said, the dog.
Your puppy?
He's at CSP because I've been taking bags out randomly on that for all weekend long. People were, so I was busy kind of running that and trying to deal with it. Yeah, it's been.
Yeah. And your puppy, Stitch?
He's gone.
Yeah.
16
years? He was
16
just...
and a half. Yeah, 16 and a half years old. And he was, like I said, the second one. I got People and Stitch, and those two, were the 420 dogs. Like Brittany Ann had one, Tracy Curley had one. Like everybody had one of the white Chihuahuas. Well, no, both mom and dad are gone. And they were both 16, 17, but lost them on Saturday morning.
Yeah. Sorry to hear that. It's never good.
He had a really good life. He gave me a lot of love, and he gave a lot of people a lot of love because of all those puppies that him and Peter had, right? So he produced a lot of love, and like I said, right to his little, right to the end.
That's right. That's right. Well, talking about love, there's lots of love in the cannabis community, and couples and just advocates and the work that people have been doing.
Yeah.
Tonight, we're going to talk and remember Michelle Rainey and some of the advocacy work that she did. We're going to show some videos that I've got here. I've got laid out here. Hopefully it all flows good. So see what happens.
And I'll say this, I think I've mentioned this a few times, but if it wasn't for Michelle, I would have never went and got my diagnosis and got my medical licensing, because she said you can be louder if you're licensed. So the day actually I found out she passed away was the day I got my diagnosis. So the day I had gone for my colonoscopy, got the diagnosis and I got home to an email saying that she was gone.
Okay. Yeah. Well, we could sit here and talk, but I think that maybe it's best for us to bring our guest.
We should bring in the special guest. I'm sure he knows a lot more than we do.
That's right, for sure. So tonight, as I said, we're going to remember a friend and cannabis advocate, Michelle Rainey, who suffered from Crohn's disease, but sadly lost her life to cancer in 2010. Here tonight to help us with that is Michelle's husband. We'd like to welcome Jef Tek to the Pace Radio Show. Hello, Jef. How you doing?
Great, Al. Great, Tamara. Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. Thank you for coming. thanks for coming to the show. But can I get you just to twist your phone there just a little bit? Because we got you cut off at the nose.
He wants to be able to see your face.
There you go. Looks
Yeah.
good.
The smiling guy.
Like weeds.
Oh, well, you know the Remo guy, right?
Yes, we know the Remo guy. We sure
Actually,
do.
it's funny because the garden center that I was working here like 3 years ago, I brought Remo's nutrients in for the cannabis expert that I was supposed to be doing, and it was her that nicely helped me pay for Stitch's cremation. She sent me, well, she didn't send me, she sent the vet the money to cover the cost of his cremation.
Wow, that's yeah.
I know. I couldn't believe it. I phoned them this morning to tell them that I was gonna have to wait till Friday because it's paid for. I'm like, what?
Wow, jeez, that's good. Well, Jef, it's good seeing you. Good talking to you again. As we know, it was Monday. Was the 15th anniversary, I guess, if you would like to call it. I don't know, of Michelle's passing. And I think the newspaper article that I put up for the posting has a pretty good idea on things. It says that Michelle would like to be remembered for making change. And there's no doubt that Michelle made a lot of change for a lot of people and for the cannabis laws here in Canada.
Absolutely.
Yeah, October 20th, in 2010. It's been 15 years, 2 days, and she still continues to be a driving force in my life. For example, you, and then I got to hang out with Lawrence Cherniak last night, which that would have only happened because of Michelle. So I still owe her my personage.
Would you like to, basically let's talk about Michelle, when you met her and where things went from there as far as your advocacy and getting married and all that.
Yeah, we got married at the last day of the last Toker's Bowl, July 4th, 2005. And then 3 weeks later, the USDEA, in conjunction with the Vancouver Police Department, came with a warrant for arrest for Mark Emery, Michelle Rainey, and Greg Williams.
Wow. That's not good. Not good at all. As I mentioned, she suffered from Crohn's disease.
Yeah, she had Crohn's, and we went the pharmaceutical route and gained a bunch of weight on prednisone, and nothing was really helping her. And then one of her business associates recommended that she try cannabis, and she had never really dabbled with that in high school or in her younger years.
Yeah.
She was always, kind of a go-getter, type A personality. But she took the advice and tried it, and it instantly transformed her illness from a disability into a cause to help others. And that's exactly what she did. I mean, at her passing, she had helped like close to 5,000 people get their license. She was the first one to get the youngest patient ever in Canada their license. She was instrumental in organizing all the people that came to the 4 cannabis cups, the 4 Toker's Bowls, she called them. Mm-hmm. And she was literally in contact with people from all over the world for up to a year or more before the actual event. So by the time people showed up in Vancouver, they already had a bond with Michelle. She already knew all about them, where they were from, what they liked, what they didn't like. I mean, it was, you're talking 300 people. She had an intimate relationship with every single one of them. and she managed to touch them in a way that people are still reaching out to me today that I don't remember I'd ever met. I posted that short memorial to her on Monday morning at about 7 a.m. And as of Wednesday, right now, it's been seen over 500 times. It's been forwarded, reposted by people that I don't even know who they are.
Don't even know them. That's right. Yeah, because she touched so many people that you wouldn't even. There's no way that you would know everybody that she did.
Back too, because even though she's been gone, we still keep her alive by talking about her and sharing her stories. So people keep looking her up and looking in Google and trying to find out who she is and what she stood for. So the stories that we share ripple effect to keep her memory and everything keeps rippling forward, right?
Yeah, for sure. That's what I'm just letting him finish up. But he's having supper because he's out west, so it's dinner time out there.
It's dinner time here too. I had to suck back my mashed potatoes before I had to come on.
But even her while she's gone, she's no longer with us. Her education and the work that she was doing can continue through the videos and the stories and the articles that were written about her or that she did herself. Right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, courage above all. Like she had the courage to try something not mainstream. She had the courage to promote her convictions. She had the courage to help others, and she had the courage to move on without ever feeling sorry for herself.
Now, could I get you to adjust your camera there again, Jef? Just because it's just you can see.
Why?
It.
What's wrong? What's wrong?
Because
okay, yeah, just cut the top of your head off. That's all.
Oh, that's the background behind me. That's not.
He's got the Iron Maiden behind him. That's perfect.
That's the Iron Maiden back there. That's Eddie. That's Eddie that's getting cut off there.
Wow, look at that.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's on your wall. That's
kind of ironic because one of my best friends' death is tomorrow for 2 years, and her favorite band was Iron Maiden and Metallica. So the last concert was Iron Maiden before she died. So
that's the whole wall, isn't it?
It's a big flag.
Yeah, that's a tapestry. It's not a print. It's actually a loom. It was made in New England.
Beautiful.
And I count over 13 different album covers on that one tapestry.
Yeah,
yeah, I thought it was a cool background.
Yeah, it is. Much better than that light that we had up there before the show.
Right?
There you go.
I don't know. It won't stay. It wants to walk off.
There you go.
Yeah, it's not going to stay there.
Stay. Look at that. There we go. Good. Now, as far as, because she had the Crohn's, and then she had a friend that introduced her to the cannabis. I assume that before that point, she was probably on the regular diet of steroids that they throw at you.
Yeah, before I met her, she was on all that.
prednisone and all kinds
prednisone and all that stuff. And yeah, she quit. She quit all that, and then that's when she introduced herself to Mark Emery, and she saw it.
Now, what was she doing before she became a cannabis advocate? Due to her, sounds like just like a lot of us, we can't shut up. You got to tell everybody.
Oh, she was a bank. She was a banker. She worked in banking.
Correct.
Yep.
So she traded her banker's hat for a maid uniform, and she became Mark Emery's maid. And they used to joke about, the maid was running the business because she quickly became the CEO of the BC Marijuana Party, and they had 79 candidates and 79 ridings up here in Canada. and
Wow.
they paid for all of it, and they were forced to be reckoned with. I mean, she's the one that put Mark Emery in the Armani suit that he was famous for. That was all her. So she was PR, she was mom, she was den mother, she was marketing, she was shipping and receiving. She basically wore all the hats
Mm-hmm.
while the rest of the children played.
And then took care of her own health on top of that.
Yeah.
Was that?
And then had to take care of her own health and everything on top of all that.
Well, that's just it with the cannabis and smoke. She smoked about, I don't know, about 4 to 6 joints a day, and just a few hits, 2 puffs here and there was enough to get her through the day. She got up and put herself together and went out in the world every day. When she was dauntless. She never took a sick day the entire time. 5.5 years that we were together. 6.5 years we were together, and 5.5 years we were married. So she never took a sick day in any of that. And I know firsthand because my mother actually, when I was growing up, she actually had undiagnosed Crohn's. Like, I don't know. I guess that's why doctors call it a practice, because they're practicing to be doctors. I'm a mechanic. I don't practice. I actually fix things.
Yeah.
So
Here, let's try
10
these.
years. For 10 years, a full decade of my mom's life, my life, my formative years, from 7 to 17, they didn't know what she had. And she would take Mylanta. I don't know if you know what that is, but she would liters of Mylanta, they buy that by the caseload. And she was taking Mylanta, 24/7, and nauseous and sick and having all the issues and going to the hospital. And she was a willing patient. She volunteered to be a case study all the time. So constantly a new round of recruits, coming and checking her and doing the rudimentary tests and this test and that test. And in Chicago, this was growing up in Chicago at the time, they had Loyola University, and she would be there every month or so. And everybody from the they call it the cafeteria lady to the guard to all the doctors and nurses knew me at Ravenswood Hospital. I would go there after school and check in. And I mean, she had just about had a permanent room there, and it was hard to watch the non-diagnosis. And then after 10 years, our family doctor came back from a seminar, and he's like, "I think you have Crohn's." So it didn't really help anything. I mean, it's always good to be diagnosed. Nothing really progressed as far as treatment went. But when I met Michelle and she told me she had Crohn's, I kind of had a really weird flashback to that old growing up situation. But then here's Michelle. She knows what she's got. She wasn't running around for 10 years wondering what she got. She went right into proactive. Well, what can I do? And her diet was number one. She liked her food. She was Ukrainian, Canadian proud.
No, could she
liked her food, and she liked her pierogies, and
Yeah, could she eat red meat like beef? Could she eat beef? Like beef?
Well,
I have Crohn's myself, so I know some of the stuff that she went through. And
well, you gotta really watch anything white sugar, white salt, white flour, all the whites. You gotta just stay away from white people.
Rice.
They'll get you every time. Crawl in and give you plaque and wear MAGA hats, And
yeah, because I know I can't eat beef. I'm a chicken, turkey, or fish kind of
I like
meat.
beef.
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta stick with the protein. That's what I do. I find, the Jordan Peterson isn't, a be all end all, but he did kind of point me in that protein direction. And 3.5 years ago, I got tired of just being in pain all the time with my arthritis. I have rheumatoid arthritis, osteoarthritis, and degenerative bone disease. And I don't like the sound of any of that. So I've kind of mostly had it my whole life, but sort of kind of been in denial. And,
Right.
1999, 2000, I was diagnosed with what I just said. And then from that point, I kind of took myself off any meds I was on. And then I went and saw a traditional Chinese medicine doctor. And he was the first one that I confided with in my lifetime that I smoked cannabis. And I asked him if it was, exacerbating my situation in any way, shape, or form. And he says, cannabis. I said, marijuana. He laughed. He goes, ah. He said, this is natural. This is natural. He said, this is plant. This is natural. He said, anytime you concentrate and condense anything, you exponentially increase the chances of side effects. And, like even aspirin. You could take the willow bark, the willow root, and treat yourself. But as soon as you concentrate it down into aspirin and take that every day, now you're going to give yourself ulcers or other problems.
Right.
So I found that advice to be very, very helpful because growing up in the States, there's a lot of propaganda. Cannabis, causes
Yes. Yeah.
molecular DNA disformation, whatever, like all kinds of bad stuff in it. One marijuana cigarette is equivalent to like 10 packs of cigarettes, and
Oh,
I don't know, man. I don't think so.
And we all know about the egg in the frying pan.
So that's when I kind of like started growing. Basically, that's when I started growing because I was working full time and I couldn't afford to buy it. So I started growing for myself and few others, and then that led me on a quest that I wound up in San Diego, and then I wound up meeting Michelle, and she came down and visited me, and she was there for the first batch of my Afghani bull rider, and she immediately took to it.
Yeah.
26 years later, now that it's in the legal market, and we have the COA test done on it, testing and all the tests, it comes back at 0.0% CBD, and CBD is one of over 400 cannabinoids in cannabis that can contribute to making you lethargic, making you sleepy, making helping you sleep in some cases. But I think the Afghani bull rider is it's a benchmark strain because there's 0% CBD, which in other words, if you use it for medicine, you don't get that burnout lag time. You got to lay down on the couch. You just move forward, and it allows you to be productive, and it allows you to speak and
still function.
Yeah, so it fit her like a glove. Before that, she was smoking Williams Wonder and some other different strains, and they help. But when I came back and came up here and started growing for her, by 2005. I had enough to either enter the Toker's Bowl or share it with everybody at the Toker's Bowl. I chose the latter, and I'm glad I did because everybody remembers that. The first time they tried it, they don't remember any of the 20 strains that they got at the Toker's Bowl. Who won? Nobody cares. Everybody talked. All they talked about was the Afghani bull rider, and not to toot my own horn, but just like that's my claim to fame. Like here all these years later. I got people from Kevin Durant on the NBA is mad that he can't get Afghani bull rider in New York yet. Like, we got artists and actors and people all over the world that are angry that they can't get it in LA. They can't get it in Sydney. They can't get it.
Do you know which province it is in Canada where it's available?
Well, it's available in the Ontario, and it's available in BC as of March of this year. So just select.
All right. Well, I'll have to go look.
I haven't seen it yet, but right now with this strike, our stores are pretty bad.
Yeah, yours would
And
be. Yeah.
I know
'cause
the
last
Burb.
time,
The Burb has it. We did a release at the Burb downtown Vancouver. I know the Burb has it as one of a dozen. It sells out every time they do a limited drop. It sells
yeah,
out almost immediately. So that's pretty cool.
Maybe that's
But
why we've never had it in Cranbrook, because it just hasn't made it out here. As soon as it drops, they probably buy it all up, and we can't get it out here. Because I'm in Cranbrook, right? And we've got 6 stores out here, but I've never seen it out here ever.
yeah.
I mean,
So
but like I said, we can't get Remo's joints out here too. Like anything that, like Al had to actually literally mail me one of the supercharged joints from Ontario because I couldn't get one here.
cool.
yeah. That's the only way she could get it was if I mailed it to her.
So
It might be
So
the only way you can get some bull rider too, maybe.
so he mailed me out enough. So he mailed me out a supercharged joint from Ontario because I couldn't buy one at my local store.
yeah. So in Michelle's, unbridled quest for, helping people and spreading information, she became like Afghani Bull Rider's first promoter inadvertently because the smell of that strain combined with, her blonde hair and her red lips and her big boobies, like that was her calling card. Like, she would hand people a joint
Yeah.
and they instantly remembered her, and so she continues to promote it to this day, and it's just amazing. I mean, she really believed in the system that that it should be legal, it should be available, it should be cheap, And so I don't know where she would stand right now in today's legal market because I can attest to the fact that my company has spent over $7.5 million and they haven't turned a profit yet. So
Ooh, wow.
yeah.
Well, she'd be having you turn in a profit because, as you
And
talked
every
about
day,
earlier, if she was the CEO, she'd be the
Yeah.
and
CEO.
every day, well, that's just it. It's only 4 guys. I mean, it's down to a ghost skeleton crew part time, and they just,
Right.
it's the dispensaries are making money, the growers aren't. Just like in any market, any commodity, grapefruits are $3.50 now. It's like, yeah, but the farmer's not getting $3.50. That's the problem. The farmer never gets paid. The farmer gets $1, and they make more. They make Canada gets $3. They get $3 to every $1 that the grower gets.
Yeah, and then it takes forever for the growers to get paid. It's just ridiculous. The system just fucking fights for the farmer. And it doesn't matter whether you went into micro or whether you went into large production. It's the same system, and it sucks for the farmer, whether you're big or little. It's ridiculous.
And who bleeds? Who's in there bleeding, digging in the dirt at 5 o'clock in the morning, and who's out there at 9 o'clock at night, and who's fighting the bugs, the pests, the pestilence, the rippers, the professional rippers that make a habit out of studying your energy usage and then robbing you blind when they see that your lights are off. I mean, there's a whole host of what do you call it? Predators that are waiting to take your profit. And then when you're making such little profit as it is, it's like, it's just not fair. Turn around in these dispensaries. Every day there's a new name. Every day I walk past a dispensary, there's some new brand. There's a new brand. There's a new brand name. And you're like, yeah, I thought of that name. I thought of that name 20 years ago. I thought of that name 15 years ago. I thought of that name 7.5 years ago. I mean, it's all these names that mean nothing, sound cool. It's got, punch. It's got pizzazz, California, whatever it is.
Yeah,
and where are these guys coming from? I mean, we can't make any money with a bona fide strain. How are they? What are they? I don't understand. I just don't understand.
Like seriously, been scoping it. Half of it's crap. It's premature. The triclones, if they're even there, are clear. There's not a cola. There's not a cloudy triclone if you even see them at all. And that's what I've been like. What some of the microcrafts I won't say that about, but some of the big, I've quit buying from. Honestly, I've quit buying from the market.
We've got a comment that I want to address, and then we got to go to break. We got a comment here about, what do you mean Remo's joints are in Ontario? I've never seen them anywhere in the stores or online, and on my end, Ontario doesn't have its joints. Yes, Remo's joints were available in Ontario. They may not be now, but they were available in Ontario. If you go to the on the YouTube channel for the Pace Radio Network, you will see our interview with Remo and Sandra. If you go through the playlist, and you'll be able to hear us talk to Remo about the joints and about the experience of me sending joints to Tamara so that she could try them. So
Yep.
I'll get them too. I go over there every day. I see them all the time.
There you go.
Best people in the world, too. I love them to death. They're great.
Yeah, actually, the local store to me, the last I knew, they had sold 8 boxes of Remo joints.
Oh yeah, he's got the legacy brands. You know, I wanna get in on that with him.
Yeah, they don't have them now. Like last time I checked, but yeah, at one time they were pretty hot at the local store. So
like I said, with this strike on right now, our stores are empty.
Yeah, the strike.
I got this from.
Can you not do the direct delivery to the stores, being that you're a micro grower?
I got this from Lawrence Cherniak.
Nice. Nice hash.
Yeah. Lawrence the hash man.
Yeah. He's a pretty amazing individual. Like I said, I wouldn't know him if it wasn't for Michelle, but got to spend the evening with him. He hung out last night and most of today. I took him over to see Weeds dispensary over in Pitt Meadows. See Don and Carol and catch up. And you know, they have farm to table there, so you can see plants, you can buy plants, you can buy weed, you can smoke hash, you can eat food, you can drink beverages. You know, it's all inclusive, and you know, pretty impressive. I mean, I saw it. It was originally a lettuce farm and went under, and then Don and Carol bought it and slowly transformed it. And every time I go over there, it's not transformed. It's like a metamorphosis. You go over there and it's like, I remember this empty box that I hung 4 cameras in, and now that's the dispensary. It's just amazing to see the transformation. You know, there's $100,000 worth of red beard glass in one container. You know, wow. It's just amazing. You know? I mean, I talk to him all the time. It's just you know, Bob High, the artist representations there, and you know, I like to promote them because they're very they're kind of off the beaten path. They're not like in a major, you know, strip mall or anything. So if you don't know, you might not know. But Weeds International, pretty amazing.
Yep. Okay, time for us to take that break. When we return, Tamara and I will continue our discussion with our guest, Jef Tek. And this is the Pace Radio Show. We're live here at paceradio.net and 420pace.ca.
You're listening to the Pace Radio Network here at paceradio.net.
Campbellford Lifestyle Shop. Open Monday to Friday from 10 till 7 p.m. or by chance. Check out our flags, our t-shirts, plus our hats. And look of that supply of rolling papers, plus much more. We've got bongs and your favorite herbal vaporizers. Look at all the incense we have. As well as, for those who collect knives, check out these knives in our collection. And while you're here, stop in to see Shay at the piercing room, where you can get poked by Shay. Daily deals. Check them out. Campbellford Lifestyle Shop, 17 Bridge Street West, Campbellford, Ontario.
What do you find at paceradio.net? People advocating cannabis education.
Limestone City Hydroponics is Kingston, Ontario's hydroponics shop, Take your growing to the next level and create the optimal environment with a tent kit, or maximize your yield with an ebb and flow flood table kit. Either way, Limestone City Hydroponics has more sizes and options to fit your needs. Are you looking for the power of the sun that adapts to your budget? Then look no further, as they have professional grow lighting. They have indoor grow systems that are easy and cost effective, with many options to fit your living space and lifestyle. Cultivate your growing potential. We have everything you need to succeed. And if you can't make it to the store, they offer local delivery to the greater Kingston area. Remember, when you're looking for experts to help you grow, then look no further than the locally owned Limestone City Hydroponics, 105 Sunderland Drive in Kingston, Ontario. Call them at 613-548-0420. Rerolled Saturdays. Check it out. Nothing but non-stop cannabis and psychedelic programming. Find it at 420pace.ca.
You're listening to the Pace Radio Network here at paceradio.net.
Hey, welcome back to the Pace Radio Show, and we have our guest, Jef Tek, here, and we're talking about and remembering Michelle Rainey, longtime cannabis advocate, and we're actually going to hear from Michelle in this segment. I have got, as you know, Jef, you mentioned at the beginning that Michelle liked to talk a lot about cannabis, and she did a lot of public speaking. Right. Now, I have got a video here lined up of her speaking at Ideal City. I was in Toronto.
Yeah. Idea City. Yeah, it was in Toronto. Yep.
Yeah. So the and during this discussion, she's talking about her situation and dealing with Crohn's disease. She talks about legalization and, at this time, fighting for legalization and helping patients. She covers a lot of topics, and it's probably just easier for me to play the video and let her say it. Right?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Anything you want to say about her speaking at these events, Rain, before I get...
Just that she would get very nervous up in front, and before any time we filmed a video or anytime she had something to say, she'd make a myriad of notes, and she'd rehearse it over and over and over in her head. And then once the camera was rolling, she'd just turn into a natural. Like, you'd never know. You'd never know how nervous she was the day before or the hour before.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that nervousness with her Crohn's, could set things off. So
exactly.
Cannabis. Alrighty. So here's we're gonna hear from Michelle talking at Ideal City about cannabis. So there we go.
Wide blonde with big boobs, a quickie. Now, if I take a little more than 10 minutes, I deserve this. Since the very first time I attended Idea City in 2001, I dreamt of being on this stage. This has been my temple, my church, and my retreat. And I've wanted to be worthy of being here today in front of all of you. And it is a great honor and a great privilege to be here. As Moses told you, I have suffered from Crohn's disease for 2 decades. Conventional medicine did not work, not at all. Sadly, and I wish it did. Prednisone, Pentasa blew me up like a balloon, almost died. Then it was time to take control of my own health. And I have been using medicinal cannabis for the past, since 1996. I've cut off all pharmaceuticals, which I'm very proud of. Taking into consideration that this is the 10-year anniversary of Idea City. It is also the 10-year anniversary of my activism career, and I quit a 10-year bank career to do this. I decided I wanted to tell all of you the gifts that Idea City has given me and Moses Neimer in relation to my activism career over the past 10 years. Of course, I had to write a few notes because this was going to get a little complicated. The first one is to be fearless. Did you know that public speaking is feared more than death by all of us? We're all terrified of public speaking. I took it upon myself to do a show a couple of years ago called Michelle's Medicinal Marijuana, a 5 to 10 minute shtick about pot and politics to get over my fear of public speaking. Producing myself, and I'd like to thank my husband, Jef, who's watching by internet right now. Hi, honey, I love you. Yes, you can watch this whole thing by internet, apparently. That has helped me to overcome my public speaking fears. Number 2, education. Listening to all of you, 350 presenters over the past 10 years, has given me the ability to be able to be a better marijuana educator and convey a message that's so important for all of you to understand. Number 3 is inspiration. A few years ago, I put together a medicinal marijuana education package. And in this package, it consists of 33 pages. Yes, 33 pages to get a legal exemption to use marijuana in this country. Have you ever had to fill out 33 pages for Tylenol 3, Prozac, Ativan, lorazepam? Probably not. It also includes the list of all the compassion clubs in this country, websites relating to all the different diseases proving cannabis's therapeutic value. This was a labor of love and inspired, of course, by Idea City. I also took it upon myself to start writing a column called Ask Medicinal Michelle in a magazine called Treating Yourself that's for patients by patients. And in this year, or actually this month's edition of Zoomer magazine, I have a fantastic article in here called The Pot Option relating to the Zoomer generation and options. Instead of pharmaceuticals, you have a choice. Number 4, Idea City challenged me. Oh, has this ever challenged me? My God. It should have challenged all of us. To believe in myself, regardless of the continued negative stigmatization about marijuana. It's challenged me to be more aggressive and more forceful with telling all of you no harm has been done. Not one single person has ever died of marijuana. Not one. Number 5, patience. You have to have a lot of patience to do what I do. And Idea City taught me, from environmentalists to politicians to inventors. When we saw this morning, things take time. Patience is a necessary evil. And I still can't figure out why marijuana is not legal yet, but that patience is still with me. Number 6, courage. July 29th, 2005, the DEA came into Vancouver and arrested myself, Mark Emery, and Greg Williams. And all 3 of us have been facing extradition charges since that time. 99% of individuals sought for extradition are extradited. There is just no ands, if, buts, or maybes. It's plain and simple. You're extradited. My only hope, my Obi-Wan Kenobi, who is not here right now, Mr. Irwin Cotler, he happened to be the one that did sign my extradition papers as Justice Minister, Liberal, in 2005. And sadly, he is no longer our Justice Minister. We have a Conservative. So my Obi-Wan Kenobi couldn't help me now because he was my only hope. He's the only one who would have been able to reverse these charges. I decided to start negotiating with the US government because I knew that I would be extradited, and I did not want to drain our economy any more than it already has been with unnecessary court fees. I mean, let's face it, we're in a global economic crisis. We don't need to be spending and wasting any more money when I am guilty. And what I did was, as Moses told you, went down to the US, yes, in shackles. It was very interesting to stand at the Peace Arch border, and I don't know if any of you ever have been on the Peace Arch border. But I had to stand under it on the Canadian side at 8:30 in the morning, waiting for a couple of agents to come get me. Just standing there in the middle of this beautiful park, waiting for them to come get me. And of course, they came and got me, and I was processed at the border, fingerprinted, and then, of course, put in these handcuffs and put in the car, as dangerous as I am with using medical marijuana, taken down to Seattle, and there I was processed, and apparently I was the nicest looking, nicest smelling convict they've had in a long time, considering what Seattle has in their marginalized prisons. And that's one thing that I'd like to tell you all. 1 in 100 people in the US are in jail. This is a very, very sad state of affairs. 800,000 a year are convicted of marijuana offenses. And Canada could be going down that same route with Bill C-15, which would impose mandatory minimum sentences, something that has been proven in the US to be a complete failure and a complete waste of money. And I'd really like to see all of us get more active about our laws in Canada concerning not just marijuana, but drugs in general right now. I pled guilty to the offense of conspiracy to manufacture marijuana, count number 1. All 3 charges at first were money laundering, conspiracy, and yes, manufacturing marijuana from the internet seed selling business that Mark Emery has had or did have during that time. Number 7, I feel like David Letterman tonight. Awareness. Idea City has taught me awareness. To be aware of the world around me, to read, to investigate. Marijuana is in the news everywhere these days. Even Anderson Cooper on CNN right now has a program this entire week called America's High. Wow. That'll educate all of us. Is America really high? Or does America just need a little help from Canada right now and the rest of the world? That's a good question to ask ourselves sometime, because I did marry an American in hope that we could all unite and be a better world. Number 8. Number 8, what is number 8? Accept the unknown. From every single year to year that I come to Idea City, things change. And they change drastically, from extradition, a couple of divorces, and since the last time I've been here, I went home and I got diagnosed with a malignant melanoma. And from there, I had 3 major surgeries. I had an excavation of my back, 6-inch, 4-inch wide. Brought me right in. All you ladies out there got a free facelift, so now they're just pushed out a little bit more for nothing. Then I had a radical neck dissection surgery, slitting half my neck and all the lymph nodes being taken out. But I'm alive, and here I am a year later. And it's all thanks to being proactive with your health. It's so vitally important that we all take a look at ourselves and go, okay, what am I eating? Do I need to be taking vitamins? Do I need to be exercising? Do I take a look at the pharmaceuticals that I'm using? Do I really need to be using them? Can I wean myself off of them? Is there any way I can find to live a longer life and a better life? Isn't that what Zoomer's all about, longevity, right? And here I have only 16 more seconds. All right, number 9, we're almost done. Number 9, friendship. Idea City has given me the ultimate gift of friendship. Moses, Dr. Jamie, Anita, I can go on, Marilyn. There are so many wonderful people that I have met over the past decade that have influenced me, that have mentored me to be a better medicinal cannabis advocate. And number 10. Number 10, Idea City has given me the gift to dream. All of us have dreams, and we still should at whatever age we are. We all need to dream, and my dream is to be Canada's cannabis ambassador. Now, hey, come on, medicinal? Let's face it. Can we get a little patriotic? We can refuel our economy. There's so many things we can do right now if we do legalize marijuana. And it's medicinally, yes, we need to tax it, we need to regulate it, because we're going down the same road as prohibition, alcohol prohibition. That's something that we don't want to do. Thank you all very much, and I look forward to talking to you after.
Thanks, Michelle. I'm still a little unclear about what kind of sanctions you face, because given the
you only gave me 10 minutes.
Given the volume of seeds that were sold,
yes,
apparently you and Mark were liable to life imprisonment.
Yes, for
right?
4 years. The threat was 30 years to life.
30 years.
And that's not something that...
So you've effectively done a plea bargain, have you?
Yes, I have. So what will happen is July 17th, I will turn to the US without, thank goodness, having to go through the handcuffs and all the fingerprinting again. And I will face a sentence of what I hope will be 2 years probation in my own country. I will not be able to travel the US for 5 years. But sadly, Mark Emery will be going down to plead guilty himself. And it's time for him to do that and get this over with. I'm sure that we'll be able to get him a treaty transfer, and then he'll be able to come up here and possibly serve a lesser sentence. And I'm crossing my fingers for that. This has been a heck of a decade of activism for me. And I will say I'm totally blessed and completely grateful to be alive. You know, I love life, and all of us need to start sharing and be a part of our communities. Get out and vote. Bake an extra batch of cookies for your neighbors. Talk to each other. We're all forgetting to do that. Come on. You know, no one talks to each other. I'm in Toronto, and what am I? You know, I have no idea why people just don't talk to each other. Life is so short. And, you know, according to, what is it, May 27th, 2012? Oh, my goodness, we don't have much time. So we better get at it, okay?
Thanks, Michelle.
Idea City is my church. It's my retreat. It's my soul. This is the only thing I do all year long. I save all my pennies to come here. I don't do anything else. I don't go on holidays to Jamaica or Mexico or anything like that. This is what I do every year.
Finally, the message she's, revealed, through that whole, it's timely. It's the same message that should be being said right now. We don't talk to each other.
Exactly.
It's just, that's so timely.
Oh yeah, it is. When I was watching that earlier before the show, that's the thing I thought of, that message could be repeated today over and over again.
The only thing is that she wasn't able to see legalization, and as messed up as most of it is. I say to my son, you'll never have to get busted for a joint. My 16-year-old will never have to go through that. He'll never have to worry about having to go find some seedy guy down in an alley to fucking buy some crappy weed from, right? Or get busted for that. So, as like I said, as bad as, some of the aspects of it are, my kids won't have to deal with what we have to go through as kids. I am grateful.
She mentioned, Jef, Michelle mentioned about her possibility of 30 years in jail for the seeds. What did she end up getting?
She was posthumously released from probation on July of 2011. So yeah, she died on probation. She died on probation.
Yeah. The what else I got here? On here, I got a few things I made note of. The she talked a lot about health, making sure that people look after their health, eat the right foods, all that type of stuff as well, which is Crohn's disease is something that's very important.
Yeah, it totally is. And that's the thing, that you have to worry about what you eat. But again, when you've got stuff like for me, for example, it doesn't matter what I eat. It just doesn't make it. I try and eat high protein because everything just but again, everybody's individual. You have to do what works best for your own body, right?
She talked about wanting to be Canada's cannabis ambassador.
She was.
She was.
Canambassador.
Yeah, she was. She was. She pioneered. She laid the foundation, right, for so many of us, and gave us so much to move forward with and use to keep educating people. And we look back, it's been 15 years since she's been gone, and we were all working right alongside her back then. So it's been almost 20 years that we've all been plugging away at this. And finally we did see legalization, because let's face it, we never thought we'd see any of this, right? And now we just have to keep working towards seeing the rest of the world getting further and closer to legalization, because it's a human right as far as I'm concerned. People should be able to maintain their own health, and it shouldn't be up to anybody how you do it.
And as she said, talking about a right, she says we have a choice, whether we want, to use cannabis. We have that choice here in the country, and it was well before legalization. It's been around for 25 years as far as legal on the medical end, but we have that choice, and a lot of people don't know that. So cannabis ambassador obviously, what she was doing, going around promoting cannabis and talking to people about it. Go to non-cannabis things, events, like she did. So,
Yeah, I was proud that Southern Alberta Cannabis Club was one of the first compassion clubs on that list. Because like we didn't have a storefront, but if you stopped in Lethbridge anywhere through, you needed like there was my number and my email. I'd meet you anywhere if you were a patient. It wouldn't matter, right? So that was something that I thought was totally amazing. But I don't know how many of those packages, those medical packages, I took to doctors' offices and dropped off.
yeah, exactly. You know, and she was involved with Treating Yourself magazine as well. The two of them, you know, neither one of them were with us, unfortunately, anymore. But I got a picture of Michelle there behind me and the Treating Yourself poster there as well. So even though Michelle's not with us, she's still there, educating, you know, through, as
That's
I said,
the beauty of video and the internet. I hate to say that, but like the internet, they say is forever. And I am thankful for the fact that some of the internet is forever because you can go back and you can find things from 10 and 15 years ago. And then you can download them and you can, you know, so thankfully some things are that the internet is forever. There's other things that I wish they weren't, but,
yeah.
but there are good aspects to it, right?
Yeah, like you say, the internet. We've got the website, MichelleRainey.com.
That's it.
That's it right there. It's got the memorial bench.
Which I've sat on twice.
Have you?
Oh yeah, yep. Every time I went to Vancouver, Sandra took me out there the last time I was out there. And then I was out there with Lisa Kirkman one time before that. But yep, twice.
It's not quite that bright anymore. It's a little bit faded, but it's the only red one.
Yeah,
it's the only red one on the riverfront. All the other ones have green foundations.
Yeah,
it's been there 12 years.
Yep,
more than 12 years. Almost
one year
13
we were out
years.
there, Debbie Stoltz Giffen was with us, and she couldn't walk that far because it's not like right at the entrance. You have to walk down a bit. So so we took pictures of it for her. But yeah.
I took that picture. Yeah.
This is the slideshow on the website. One of these pictures was in the magazine in Treating
Yourself. Treating Yourself.
Yeah.
Like all those pictures I found on Monday, they were on my hard drive, buried deep down inside of another file, inside of another file.
Oh, yeah.
A few of them were corrupt. They wouldn't open. The one her and Ian Mulgrew on his 50th birthday. There's a few other ones that were, I had to delete because they weren't fully functional pictures anymore. But I mean, I've got close to 100,000 pictures on my computer now, so it's amazing. Yeah, that was a whole photo shoot. That was the AB. That was her and her medicinal outfit.
Mm-hmm.
That was just a quickie I took one day. She just popped down while I was working, and I busted out the camera. Yeah, she was photogenic. She was.
Yeah.
It's good to listen to that Idea City thing. I like to listen to it at least once a year because it just restores my faith in what I'm doing and what we're doing, and the fact that a lot of things have changed and a lot of things have stayed the same.
Mm-hmm.
And like you were saying earlier, there's people like her, the pioneers, that made it so the kids have an easier path ahead of them. But by the same token, with all these dispensaries, is anybody going to know what an ounce of weed is anymore? Is anybody going to know how to roll joints anymore?
Well,
is anybody going to know what a quarter bag or a dime bag is anymore? I mean,
our culture is being like broken down because the statistics came out and they were saying that pre-rolls were the best. And I said, yeah, because these kids are coming up 19, 20. They don't know how to roll a joint because their parents are like stuck up and don't smoke. And if they do, they go get pre-rolls too because they were too stuck up to smoke weed before it was legal, right? Or whatever. So my son taught him how to roll a joint. He's like, "You're gonna roll my joints, kid." Like, and I don't care. Like, I don't even hide it because I'd rather infuse our culture into our children, the ones that are going to have to continue moving that culture forward, right? And and I was the dummy that had a baby at 40, but I'm glad that I did, because he's 16 now and he's able to keep our culture. Because my other kids don't give a shit. They're in their 30s. They couldn't have given a crap when I was doing this stuff. They were, but he is like right into it. I showed him a picture of me and Tommy Chong. He was like, "You got a picture of you and Tommy Chong?" He didn't know, because he was a baby, right? Like when I was doing all that stuff, he doesn't remember any of it, right? Like,
Yeah.
but now it's pretty cool.
All right. Okay. I see we're at the top of the hour. You're gonna go for a commercial break. We're gonna stick around, Jeff, for the last segment, or are you gonna head or finish up your dinner?
I think I have to take the agents for a walk around the block.
Okay.
Oh
yeah. You got the.
But I'll be listening. I'll be
Yep.
listening, and if you want to call me back on, I'll be available.
Okay. Well, sure. Yeah. We're here till 9. We're here till 9:30 my time, 7:30 Tamara's time, and 6:30 your time.
Yeah, it's 6 o'clock right now.
Yeah.
My agents are all sitting
So
around.
if you get back before 6:30 your time, just pop back in, and I'll add you back into the broadcast. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Sounds good.
I said I'll stay plugged in. I'll be listening.
If we don't see you again before the show ends, thank you very much for coming on the broadcast and talking to our viewers about Michelle and the history of Michelle, and why people should remember her.
And it's always good.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, it's always good to see you. So keep in touch, and that Michelle Rainey website is still there, and you're still manning it. Thankfully, you are.
Yeah, and actually, when we come back from the commercial break, we'll just randomly grab some videos that you got posted at the MichelleRainey.com website, and we'll see what help spread Michelle's word.
Right on.
Okay. All right. You're watching the Pace Radio Show. We're live here at paceradio.net and 420pace.ca. And thanks once again to Jef Tek for being here on the broadcast. And we'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.
You're listening to the Pace Radio Network here at paceradio.net.
Limestone City Hydroponics is Kingston, Ontario's hydroponics shop. Take your growing to the next level and create the optimal environment with a tent kit, or maximize your yield with an ebb and flow flood table kit. Either way, Limestone City Hydroponics has more sizes and options to fit your needs. Are you looking for the power of the sun that adapts to your budget? Then look no further, as they have professional grow lighting. They have indoor grow systems that are easy and cost effective, with many options to fit your living space and lifestyle. Cultivate your growing potential. We have everything you need to succeed. And if you can't make it to the store, they offer local delivery to the greater Kingston area. Remember, when you're looking for experts to help you grow, then look no further than the locally owned Limestone City Hydroponics, 105 Sunderland Drive in Kingston, Ontario. Call them at 613-548-0420.
Are you looking to get your medical cannabis grow license? Limestone City Hydroponics can help patients through the process of obtaining their license to grow medical cannabis. What's that? You don't have a doctor? If you meet the medical criteria, Limestone City Hydroponics has a nurse practitioner who can assess and provide medical cannabis prescriptions. What are you waiting for? Contact Limestone City Hydroponics at limestonecityhydroponics.ca or call them at 613-548-0420.
What do you find at paceradio.net? People advocating cannabis education.
Enjoy the buzz of legalization with Campbellford Lifestyle Shop. From lights to plant nutrients, books, consumption accessories, and more, we've got all your basics to grow or consume cannabis. Visit our info center or take a look at our piercing services and body jewelry, now available in-store through Campbellford Lifestyle Shop, 17 Bridge Street West, Campbellford.
Rerolled Saturdays. Check it out. Nothing but non-stop cannabis and psychedelic programming. Find it at 420pace.ca.
That way.
You're listening to the Pace Radio Network here at paceradio.net.
Hey, you're watching the Pace Radio Show. We're back, and it's just Tamara and I right now. Jef Tek is off and walking his puppies. If he gets back before the bottom of the hour, he will be joining us here in the broadcast. But other than that, Tamara and I, we're going to do some talking. Oh, look at that! I think he's got it. I think he's still there. Oh,
There
he is. He's gone for a walk with the dogs, and he's still with us.
Figure I'd take you with me.
That's
all
the,
right. Sounds
that's
good.
the beauty
Sounds
of this
good.
interweb, right? The little
There's
girls.
the
Oh,
puppies.
there they are.
There they are.
They're getting older too now. How old are they now, Jeff?
They're Tuffy and Marley are 6 now.
6.
Yeah, Tuffy and Marley.
Yeah.
Yeah, I let Stitch was 16, like almost 17, and now so we had a good long run.
A lot of cannabis advocates have got dogs. Dog
We
lovers.
all have Chihuahuas.
That's my week.
I still have Chihuahuas. Like I just, he was my other, but I've got I still have dogs. I just don't have my original crew anymore. I rescued more after, but yeah.
Right. Your hat there, Jeff. Weeds. That was yeah. There you go. Yeah. Used to be Weeds and Gift Shop, wasn't it, at one time?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, me and Lawrence Cherniak went there today. Say hi to Don and Carol. Support the system.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. As I mentioned before the break, I'm at the website, so I got some the videos here. I got this one. It's about 3 minutes long. I haven't pre-watched it, but it was the title, and it's called Medicinal Recycling.
Yeah.
And I don't know. Obviously, she's not going to be getting into the packaging and stuff like that with legalization, because that happened after her time. So I would imagine this has got something to do with gardening or stuff like that for people to reuse. So.
Absolutely.
All righty. We'll bring her up and get her started.
Everyone just walks on by.
Summer is finally here and the time is right to get outdoors. Hello everyone, and thank you for watching another episode of Michelle's Medicinal Marijuana. I would like to share with you today a recycling project that Jeff and I have done recently that I'm very, very proud of. As you can see here, I have 4 by 4 by 1 foot planters that used to house my medicinal marijuana. Yes, that's right, my legal medicinal marijuana. And now it is housing a vegetable garden. We are so proud of this. We've got beets, we've got onions, and we've got radishes and carrots. This is such an environmentally friendly project that all of us should be thinking about at a time when so many people are suffering economically. Food banks especially are in desperate need of help. We have family, friends, and neighbors who have been laid off, and let's just face it, why is it that it's so expensive to buy food? And all of you out there, get involved with your communities. It's really important that we all get active. Our members of Parliament in Ottawa are now returning back to their local constituencies where they'll be able to reconnect with their communities. Whether you have an environmental cause, whether you have a healthcare cause, or whether you are like myself advocating legalization of marijuana, it's very important that you let your MPs, your members of Parliament, know. And I'm attaching a website at the end of this show that gives you a list of all the members of Parliament in Canada, their web addresses along with phone numbers. Respectfully let them know how you feel about your community and what is going on. July 1st is upon us, and same with July 4th. All of you have a wonderful, wonderful Independence Day and Canada Day celebration. Share with others, get involved with your community, The new edition of Treating Yourself is out. For all of you out there who have never had a copy of this wonderful magazine, I am more than willing to share it with you and send it to you. You can also read it by PDF. Great websites to get on: MedPot, MedUser, Treating Yourself, Cannabis Culture, UK 420, International Canographic, the list goes on. Thank you all for watching, and have a wonderful, wonderful summer.
She stands on a corner downtown, trying not to notice her skin's burning brown. At first it seemed nothing to it.
I edited that.
And then another very
Yet
timely,
again.
another timely message.
Yeah.
Michelle Rainey.
Yeah.
15 years ago that resonates today with the same message, because she was very politically in tune too, because legalization of cannabis was political. We had to get political whether we liked it or not. I don't know how many of us had sat in MPs' offices and protested in front of MPs' offices because of the fact that we wanted to legalize cannabis. So she, like I said, pioneered, but we all felt we just kept on pushing.
Yeah, and 17 years later, and he still can't afford vegetables.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
The message is still so timely, So, but again, like you think, 15 years ago, we were having the same issues, right? Same
Exactly.
affordability, the same problems with healthcare, the same problem with education, and here we are, 15 years later, with the same fucking problems.
Well, 17 years ago, our house was $40,000 underwater. We had to amortize it with a $40,000 bump. And I remember not understanding any of that. But that was that 2008 crisis that, I don't know, just kind of, it happened in a world away. And here we are in the same situation all these years later. Here it is, same bubble, same economical discord.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same shit,
And,
different year.
Same shit, different day.
Yeah. We're just all getting a little
talk
cleared up.
about the advocacy work, and today we still need the advocacy work to go on, even though it's legal.
Yeah,
there's so many things that need to be changed, but it just seems things have gone quiet compared to what it used to be.
Exactly.
So,
I went down to visit. Oh, you got it. Cool.
Yep. Finish that up. Okay, I've got a video here. It's 5 minutes long. Yet again, another random one. It says marching forward. I'm assuming it has something to do along with advocacy and marching forward with fighting for patients and so on and so forth. So let's find out. There we go. I gotta get it loaded up. Missed that part. Here we go.
Cannabis-related activities have dominated the entire month of February, and as we head into March, the momentum continues. Welcome back to Michelle's Medicinal Marijuana, everyone, and thank you for watching. I am very pleased to report that President Barack Obama has complied with one of his campaign promises to no longer raid medical dispensaries in the 13 states that are legal. And in my eyes, this is one of the best promises he could have kept. And I also see the momentum continuing with other medicinal patients in the remaining states to strive for decriminalization, legalization, and the right to use medicinal cannabis. A California state assemblyman wants to legalize, tax it and regulate it in order to help the deficit that's growing in California. Hats off to you. Congratulations. And I hope that this happens, because right now in Canada, our politicians have gone backwards and not forwards. New laws are being implemented by the Conservative government to start deterring gang warfare that's been happening recently in the Lower Mainland of British Columbia. Sadly, there's been many deaths, and some of the cause, yes, is due to illegal drug activity, which does involve cannabis. It is time to look at legalization. It is time that we become responsible. Ex-leaders of Colombia, Brazil, and Mexico have all suggested it's time to legalize cannabis. They have seen the destructive effects on their people. Last year alone, 6,000 Mexicans died in drug-related crimes. This must stop. And I implore all of you to get involved with your communities. Talk to your leaders. Talk to your officials. Start writing letters. There are so many websites and so many different organizations that can help you get involved. You just need the courage to do it. And I know it takes a lot of courage. And I will say this, I'm very disappointed in Michael Phelps. Reason being, Bonggate, okay? This is a roar. I think that if he would have admitted to using cannabis medicinally that day, for let me see, the aches and pains that go along with a gold-winning medalist, maybe we'd be in a different situation now. Maybe he could have influenced some of the people around him to not drop his endorsements and not drop some of the engagements that he was supposed to be at. One here in Vancouver, as a matter of fact. But life goes on, and the rest of us all have to stand up for marijuana legalization and the medicinal and recreational responsible use of it. It's imperative that we do this. Yes, there are harms associated with cannabis use, just like there are harms associated with alcohol, tobacco, food, any addiction. And cannabis is a choice, okay? Cannabis is a personal choice. Some it does well for, some it doesn't. It is your own personal decision to use it. And I myself have benefited. My whole life has benefited from cannabis use. It has helped me with my Crohn's disease, and now with my struggle with cancer over the past 6 months. It has helped to alleviate a lot of the nerve damage and pain I've been experiencing from the radical neck dissection surgery that I did have 3 months ago. I want you all to know it's very difficult, and I do understand, to come out of the closet and talk about cannabis in your community. But it needs to be done. People have to understand they cannot be afraid of it. Prohibition has to end, and I know we all can work together to do that. A couple new magazines have come out recently. Of course, the new Treating Yourself, new High Times, new Weed World. I also still have my medicinal cannabis education packages available. They have been flying off my shelf and helping so many people get a legal medical marijuana exemption in Canada. Thank you all for watching. Continue the fight. And if there's anything that I can do to assist you, you know how to reach me.
Haha, good one.
There you go. Yeah, I know. Hey, yet again, another message that could be used again today. You know, it's you know, it's as if she did all this stuff knowing that it's still all relevant. You know, so.
Well, we did kick off the mandatory minimum jail sentencing, right?
Yeah,
so
well, like
those never did we got rid of those. So that bill was actually implemented, and then that was killed. So we did do that.
Yeah,
C50.
well, yeah,
And,
they got ended
at
up with
the end,
this
and at
6
the end of
months
the day,
mandatory minimum for growing 6 plants.
right? And then at the end of the day,
Right to that.
we did do whatever this civilization, or if this is what you want to call
Mhm.
it, right?
Yeah.
So it's unfortunate that she's not here to see it, but she pioneered every step of the way for us to, like, basically put the footprints down for us to keep following.
Yeah. 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 So, it's good that the internet's there, that it allows those voices to continue on to be said.
Well, like I said, absolutely. Like, that doesn't go away, and that means that you can continue watching. Like, so those messages don't change, right? They're very timely.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Looks like Jeff's made it back home again.
So yeah, we still got a long way to go. I mean, it's easy to feel like you're over the hump because we're here in a bubble in Canada. But I recently traveled down to Las Vegas, Nevada. I took a road trip with the dogs back in the spring, visit the old man, and I'm walking around Paradise Park, smoking my tangerine skunk. Wondering, man, people are like not friendly here at all. I don't know. I take a shower every day. People say hi to me. People say hi to me walking around Toffee Stadium. Everywhere I go, I meet people. I wind up talking about the dogs. Oh, what kind of dogs are those? Oh, when you mix a long hair and a smooth coat Chihuahua, you get a fluffy tuffy and a gnarly marley. Well, I didn't get to use that. I didn't get to use that one time. 4 days, I'm walking around Paradise Park smoking my weed. Not one person came up to me. So I pulled out my handy pocket computer box and I quickly searched it. And you can buy marijuana in Las Vegas now. But it is absolutely verboten to smoke it in public, in your car, in the freaking desert.
Yeah.
In a hot air balloon. You can't smoke it in an HOA. You can't smoke it in an apartment. You can't smoke it in a trailer. You can't smoke it anywhere unless you own a house. And even that is contingent upon your neighbors.
Exactly.
So what the hell? What the hell is that, man? So people by the boatload fly to Vegas, they get off the plane, they go to the strip, they go to a dispensary because there's literally one or two in every strip mall. There's a dispensary, like you can't throw a box of Marlboros without hitting a dispensary in Las Vegas.
Oh, really?
Literally. But you buy weed and you come out of there with a pre-roll and you smoke it, and Officer Friendly is right down the block ready to give you a $550 ticket. And it's a cash grab, man. And it's just like, I can't believe we've come this far to come back that far. It's the literal example of one step forward and two steps back. They go, it's legal.
You're not being fined for the actual cannabis. You're being fined for consuming it in public.
Right. And it's the same thing in Washington. It's the same thing in Oregon. It's the same thing in all these so-called legal states. It's just a loophole. It's legal for a licensed provider to sell to a store. It's legal for that store to sell to a person. But right there in the store, there's an ATM machine, and you got to stick in your credit card, and you got to pull out cash, and you got to pay the guy over here. You can't just give them your credit card. You can't just give them your debit card. It's got to be cash. And then as soon as you come out, there's a cop right across the street. There's a cop watching you, waiting for you to either fire it up or get in your car and fire it up, and then you get a DUI.
I got to assume it's all cash because banking is a big issue when it comes to cannabis, whether you're in the U.S. or Canada. But
so I go to the ATM, I pay my $2, I get my $40, I give it to you for the tangerine skunk. Now you have to pay to have an armored car pick that up once a day and take it to your bank of choice, which may or may not frown upon where that marijuana money is coming from. And then it leads people into the dark, and it leads people, they're getting ripped off, they're getting There's a plethora of these armored car companies that are all driving around to the same ends, to the same means. I mean, like, you can't just have Brinks pick it up. No, it's got to be some private, unknown, fly by night, and then these people are ripping people off because they know who's got the money. It's all insider information. And then on Friday, I got this guy, and then they get conveniently robbed, and you're just out of your tickets because you can't even prove where it came from because there's no paper trail.
Yeah, exactly. Just got a message. Got to say hello to my friend Deb. Hi, Deb.
Hi, Deb.
She would have met Michelle as well. Back with treating yourself days, for sure. Yeah. And Deb helped out at the expos. She was there in 2010 when Michelle was there, and so she would have been there as well. So, all righty. We got 5 minutes left here. Anything else offhand that you'd like to? I'm sure there's lots of stories we could talk about, Michelle. But you got anything funny offhand? End on a.
It was funny when she said. It was funny when she said write letters because I'm like, is that from the 1890s?
No, we were saying send letters because the mailroom would get too full of paper, right? And then if they had paper, they'd have to deliver them. So emails and stuff back then weren't really a real thing either, though, quite yet, because we were talking 2006, 2007, kind of that in that era. Like there wasn't, we were still writing letters. Do you remember the campaign with the postcards that Debbie did, the Maritimers United for Medical Marijuana? And we got all those postcards, we mailed them all in because mailing to Ottawa was free. So we piled them full of fucking postcards and all kinds of things. And
but I don't know if you could, because you got the Canada Post going on strike willy nilly, and like you can't even trust that anymore. It's like, okay, like so you mail a letter and it might get there, it might not get there, and it's like.
In BC, we've got the revolving, strikes for the post office. Well, and then we got all the legal stores and all the BCGUs on strike. So the liquor stores were without booze, all the cannabis stores were without cannabis. I went to check my local store and it was like you got 2 different kinds of vape cartridges, and you've got like some stuff that you can like farm to like the micros that can just sell straight to the stores, but they have nothing. And I'm like, yeah, I'm not gonna go spend $93 on 7 grams because that's what they wanted for this fuck for 7 grams of this one brand. And I'm like, I'm not spending $93 on 7 grams. So I didn't. I went out to the res, but you know what I mean? Like that's the option that I've got though. Thankfully we've got that. Some people don't have that option. Like a lot of people don't have a close legacy, res store that's close, that's, can get to, right? In BC too, right? Yeah. And then some of the stores in Kelowna in that area got busted and they got shut down on the res. So we're lucky to still have one.
You want to tell us before we go, Jeff, you want to tell us a bit more about your cannabis products that the Bull Rider, how it's available, whether it comes in pre-rolled joints, so on and so forth?
It's actually a fascinating story. Back in 1991, a grower in California knew an international bull rider that came back from abroad, and he brought him some unknown seeds. After growing out those seeds, the grower and his buddies smoked it, and one guy goes, bull rider. I don't know, man. I feel like I fell off a bull. And so Bull Rider was born 1991. They made T-shirts. These guys made hats. They made ashtrays, and Bull Rider was born. So it was an outdoor strain. It grew up and down the coast in almost everybody's backyard. Anybody from San Ysidro at the Mexican border all the way up to Emerald Triangle, Humboldt County, they knew about the Bull Rider, and it was kind of an infamous strain. So fast forward. That was 91. Fast forward to 2001. I'm fresh resident of San Diego, El Cajon, the box, California. A friend of mine was, him and his uncle were growing in Lakeside, which is the next suburb over. And in San Diego, just to set this all up, people grow outside because you can put any kind of cannabis outside any time of the year. and it's so close to the border with the 12-12 light cycle that it'll auto flower. Like, so you could literally put a plant out in January and 8 weeks later it's done. Put it out in July and 8 weeks later it's done. September, 8 weeks later it's done. You know, it's just nobody. It doesn't get cold. It's 12-12, and you know you got May gray and June gloom, but other than that, like, it's sunny all the time. It's 78 and sunny every day. Like, they you know, weathermen don't even get paid there. That's the joke, because it's 78 and sunny. They phone it in. It's 78 and sunny or whatever. They get the bad air warnings is about all that really changes. But so Buddy called me up and he's like, "Hey man, you gotta check this out." And he had what he thought was a female Afghani plant growing in the backyard, along with a bunch of bullrider. So he had this one Afghani that he had cultivated from seed, and it looked like a cactus. It had a short trunk in the middle and two arms, and it was just a monster. It was a trichome. Like, it looked like a Swarovski crystal. Like, the thing was covered in trichomes. And right around week 6, she turned into a he. And he pollinated all of that bullrider. So basically, bullrider Afghani was born. So he saved some of those seeds, thinking, this is, ruined the crop. Like, it ruined, it ruined his neighbor's crop. Like, it ruined crops around there for, like, if you wanna oust an outdoor grower, just grow one male and let the pollen do its thing, and that's the end of that, So fast forward to a little while later, he popped one of those seeds and grew it out, and it was looking good. It was a female. It was looking real strong, but he did not know how to clone. He called me up again, and he's like, "Hey man, do you know how to cut clones?" And I'm like, "Yep, I sure do. Come on over." So I go over there. This is outside in the summer in San Diego. So, I mean, I cut clones, but they were in bad shape. I mean, they were covered with thrips and white flies and black flies, and they had fungus gnats, fruit flies, and I cut like 5 or 6 clones, and I isolated them. I brought them home, put them in a cup, kind of forgot about them in the bathroom under 24-hour light. Sprayed them with Endol a couple of times. I didn't really want them in my house. You know what I mean? Like, I had a clean bedroom and a clean small little budroom.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
And I was growing my strains. I had like blueberry skunk and Jack Harrer. I had the original G13 that I got from the same guy. And I mean, it was like French toast. It was really interesting strain. It grew like lamb's bread and it smelled like French toast, but had a G13 and a few others. I mean, it was funny. Like, the Jack Herrera was tall and the G13 was short, and it was like the zoo. But it was a whoop 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 whoop. And then on the back burner in the spare bathroom, I got this whatever this is. He told me it was AB. He didn't even tell me what it was. He just said AB. So I didn't know what that meant. About 6 weeks, it started growing, and they cleaned it up. Picked off the bad leaves and, yada, yada, and transplanted it, and then eventually introduced it into my bedroom, and then eventually introduced those 6 clones. I took one mother and then introduced those into flowering. And 9 weeks later, that's when I had met Michelle, and she came to visit me. So she got to participate in those original 6, and they were literally like 18 to 20 inches long. They were just 6 little, tiny little plants, because it was just, you don't know. And being that it's an outdoor strain, you guys, the chances of it flourishing indoors, it's like 90 to 1 against you, 99 to 1. Like, there's strains that are bred for indoor use, like G13 and all these other ones. They're specifically bred in the 70s to be indoor strains.
Yeah, because Afghani part of the name makes me think Afghan, indica, But with the description of the growing time makes me think that it's more along the sativa lines of things.
Well, that's just it. The Bull Rider is a very, very strong indica, and the Afghani was probably like a 50-50, who knows, kind of a hybrid. And, whatever came out of it, there was a lot of variance. There was a lot of variance because I made seeds myself, and then that's what I brought up to Canada. But it was very fruity. It had a very, very sativa-like smell and profile. But it was a fast sativa. It was done in 6 weeks, not like
nice.
Not like White Widow that takes like 27 weeks and it doesn't go anywhere. So it was fast. It was very dense. It was everything that you really wanted in a plant. But again, you don't know until you actually dry it and try it. So Michelle was there at the exact same time that those were ready. Well, she smoked it, loved it. I smoked it and I thought, wow, this is different. It doesn't hit you with the munchies, it hits you with creativity. Like you want to go fix something, you want to go do something, you want to go take a walk, you want to write a novella, you want to do something. So I taught her how to ride a motorcycle around the university. That was fun. She picked up on that right away. And subsequently she said, hey, we need you to come on up to Canada. So I came up to Canada the following Easter and proceeded to grow everything in the Mark Emery cannabis culture playbook. I mean, I had access to all those seeds, so I started growing everything I could find. And I tell you, nothing blew up my dress. You know what I mean? It just was just nothing to write home about. So my buddy down in San Diego, I had left him with a good cash. Well, he dutifully saved the seeds and sent them to me. So I got some seeds of the G13 and the AB and whatever else I was growing at the time. He had, individually saved the seeds, tagged it, bagged it, and sent it to me. So I grew it out in 2004. And then that first batch was just in time ready for July of the 5th Toker's Bowl. And people loved it. I mean, it was so fruity. It had such a strong punch, but then there was no limit because now we've subsequently found out there's no CBD. And that's just it. It allows you to, if you want to use it to make you hungry, it'll make you hungry. If you want to use it to make you sleepy, it'll make you sleepy. But it doesn't make you sleepy. See what I'm saying? Like it lets you be what you want. And I kind of look at it like it's like a master key. Like every lock has a different key. But then there's a master key that'll unlock a whole bunch of different locks. And that's what the AB is. It's just like a universal thing that everybody that smokes it the first time, they feel like they've smoked it before. It reminds them of something mostly the first time. And then every subsequent time that you smell that smell or taste that taste afterwards, it doesn't matter if it was 5 minutes or 5 years or 15 years later, somebody will walk past you on the street and go, is that Afghani Bull Rider? Oh my God. Did you know Michelle? I was like, yeah, I was her husband. They're like, oh my God. People are just drawn to it. It's distinctive, just like she was.
It has been 15 years for me. Because Michelle gave me some when she was at the expo. And it's distinctive with a capital stink.
Yeah.
Yes. Alrighty. Just so you know, my friend Deb there, she did meet Michelle at the Treating Yourself Expo, and she says that she painted a pumpkin for Michelle's birthday, and just think it went to.
Oh, yeah.
It did go to Marco's Vape on the Lake, and we won't be here too long, but Deb might get back to me on this. But I believe the painting on the pumpkin was Michelle as Wonder Woman. There's a picture of Michelle flying through the air or something.
Yeah.
And I believe that was the image that Deb painted on the pumpkins.
You know what happens when you drop your pumpkin?
Smashed.
Squash.
It is. All right. we got to wrap things up. We've got another broadcast coming in behind us here on the 420 pace, so I should make sure that we get done in time. But any last thoughts, any last things you want to say before we say goodbye on Michelle or on Bull Rider? Where people can, like, for example, let us know where you can find Bull Rider. Like, you got a website or anything like that?
Yeah, it's available on the OCS and on the BCCS. It's available at the Burb and select other. I think it's available over here at Green Star, right by me. I went in there and said, "Hey, I'm Jef Tek," and they ordered it.
So what's the name of the branding that it's under? Like what companies? Like,
Bull Rider.
Bull Rider. It's just Bull Rider.
Yeah.
Okay, we
just
got
Bull
another.
Rider. Even though
We have another message.
Go for it.
This one comes from our friend Cheryl Rose. She says Afghani Bull Rider was the first strain Haley ever tried. Miss and love Michelle so much. Wouldn't be here today without her.
yeah, I know who that is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Haley's just turned 33. Right?
Yes.
And remember when Michelle said she saves her pennies all year to go to Idea City? What she really meant was that she gave Moses and I her weed all year so she could go to Idea City.
Whatever worked. We always thought trade was better than cash anyway, right?
Yeah.
Full disclosure and all.
Yeah. Deb has confirmed a superhero cannabis woman.
Yeah.
Was
that's
the picture. But thanks for sharing your experience, Cheryl. Cheryl's making her own news. She's just pounding the stuff right now with this microgreens and research and Health Canada research license and all that. So
cool, impressive. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Carrying the torch, literally.
That's how Haley's sustained herself. She can actually go out and dance and party and not have to be in a wheelchair because the microgreens. Like from 14, like when they sprout the second leaf and then they're so many days old and you use them like on your sandwich and you eat them, that and juicing and a keto diet has got that young lady just out. She's got a boyfriend.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like Haley's
got the backing of the university, everything.
Yeah, she's leaping and frogging. Yeah, Cheryl's done amazing.
So,
do you think Michelle would be proud?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
She'd be proud.
Yeah.
I got my selling it right.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna bring that up. I'm bringing that up, Big. There you go. Yes.
Great.
Is that cool?
Yeah.
Yes,
60 years old and I'm licensed to sell weed. I feel like James Bond.
Right? Kind of makes you sick. You walk into those stores, you realize I got busted for doing exactly what you guys are doing, fucking legally now. Right?
It's funny.
Yeah. Exactly.
And a shout out to Ramo Farms, Ramo Brands. Shout out to Don and Carol at Weeds. Nobody sacrificed more.
Oh, they
to
did.
the judicial system than they did.
Yeah. And Sandra and Remo too. They've worked really hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At one time they employed over 260 full-time employees for the black market.
Oh.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, it is. That is.
Who
It's a lot of people.
can say they did that,
Yeah. Alrighty. Other than that, Tamara, you got anything you want to say?
Cannabis substitution program always needs help. TamaraLee9@hotmail.com, or and the mail's working, you can always mail it.
That's right. Exactly. All right. Other than that, thanks to our sponsors, legacy420.com, At-Eze.ca, Limestone City Hydroponics.ca, and to Jef. Thanks for coming on to the program.
Thanks
sharing
very
your
much.
memories with Jef, with Michelle, and everything else that you're doing. And everybody look for Bull Rider in your local stores as well. I'll see if I can find some. I'll see if I can
The views expressed in this podcast don't necessarily constitute any viable information. I'm just
we run a disclaimer at the beginning.
We don't know
This
anything. I
doesn't
don't
have anything to do with SteamYard.com or its affiliates.
Yeah.
remember in the 80s when we didn't take cameras anywhere because it was fucking evidence, and now we do this shit, right?
Now we do this stuff, right? Yeah. We got ourselves another message. This comes from Buddy Weed. He says, "Rest in peace, Michelle. Long live her spirit, and thank you, Jef."
Thank you, buddy. You're awesome, man. This podcast should be taken with a grain of weed.
All right. We
Smoke them if you got them.
We got another show coming right up, so we gotta go. All right, everybody. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you all again next week. Same place, same spot, all that other stuff. Talk to you later. Bye. Let's share PACE everywhere. That way it can help create peace. People everywhere advocating cannabis education.
You're listening to the Pace Radio Network here at paceradio.net.